What's up, you guys? It's Levi here. Welcome to another edition of the Cybersecurity Education channel. So the last video I did a video talking about all you guys need to know about VPNs. This video I'll be talking about a similar topic, but I'll be narrowing it down to just the benefits of VPN while traveling. The last video goes into very extreme detail of what a VPN, the benefits of a VPN and the downsides of a VPN. And I wanted to make this video a little bit shorter so that I can include it in that cybersecurity while traveling playlist. And I wanted those videos to be short so that you guys can watch those and get through those real quick. And I just felt like that everything you need to know about VPN video was too long. So if you want to see that video, go ahead and I'll put a card up above here that you guys can look at. Otherwise, I'll just kind of summarize what a VPN is, and then I'll go through the points of why a VPN is important when you're traveling. All right, so just a little brief overview of what a VPN is. On a normal network connection, if you're not using a VPN, you have your device here. It can be an iPhone, it can be an iPad, a Mac, a Windows PC. You connect directly to your ISP, your internet service provider. And then the internet service provider does that connection out to the internet, which gets you to your application or your web page. So moving on to a VPN connection down here, you still have your device here, but you have a VPN client installed on that device. And then that talks with a VPN provider that you sign up with. And then through that VPN provider, you're able to select a server that you want to connect to in various locations, depending on what locations they have servers in. And for example, you can connect to a VPN server in Atlanta, the United Kingdom, Canada, Denver, basically whatever locations they have servers in. And then through these servers, you connect to the application and web page. The biggest difference between these two is up here, the ISP can see every web page and application that you're visiting and log that information. A VPN provider won't do that. If you have if you have a very good VPN provider, they won't log your information. And technically, your ISP is still stuck in the middle of this, but they only see your connection to the VPN provider. They can't see any of the information going back and forth between there. And that gives you more privacy because of that. And opens up these other capabilities that we're going to be talking about. So that's the gist of a VPN. It stands for Virtual Private Network. The private network is the key piece there. All right, so the number one benefit of using a VPN while you're traveling is security. While you're traveling, you're more than likely going to want to connect to a public access point or plug in your device to a public network. Or you'll be traveling in a very crowded area like an airport. Even if you're not connected to the Wi-Fi, somebody could set up a fake cell phone tower and intercept your traffic going to various places. Or the same thing if you're connecting to a Wi-Fi network that was set up by a rogue person. They just set up a fake one to try to capture your information as you're sending it along to other websites. A VPN will allow you to encrypt that whole entire connection so that that person that's sitting in the middle can only see that you're connecting to that VPN provider. They can't see any of the other information in between. And so that gives you security because your data is protected and the sites that you're visiting are protected, and it makes it very difficult for them to inject data in between that connection. So that's one of the biggest benefits of using a VPN while you're traveling is the security associated with a VPN. Obviously, the rogue person could still do things, but using a VPN will make it very difficult for them to do so. Thus, I highly recommend if you're traveling, you make sure to have a VPN set up on all of your devices. It will really help your security while you're traveling. The number two benefit of a VPN while you're traveling is you're able to access your business network if you're on a work trip, so that your computer device will be seen as if you're at your corporate site, so you can access all the resources that you need to access at your corporate site, and that information is secure in between, so nobody can see that. But then you're still able to access things like file shares and web servers that are internal to your corporate network. The number 3 thing would be privacy. And this is really critical in countries where you have information that you might be looking up that is potentially illegal in those countries that are all into censoring. You're able to use that VPN to bypass that country's ISP to where they can peer into what you're looking at and really reduce your risk for getting in trouble for looking at stuff that you're not supposed to be looking at in those countries. And then you also, some of those countries where they're interested in tracking everything that everybody's doing, you get rid of that risk as well. The key here is you have to be able to connect out to that VPN provider. If you're not able to get out to that VPN provider, you're not going to be able to use a VPN in those countries. And then some of those countries or jurisdictions, VPNs are illegal, so you have to check up on that. You don't want to get in a situation where you're getting arrested because you're connecting to a VPN. And then finally, the number 4 thing that a VPN can help you with while you're traveling, it allows you to access restricted content that you're not able to see in certain jurisdictions or regions. A good example of this would be like if you're going to China and you wanted to access Facebook or Google. I believe those two websites aren't allowed in China. And if you're able to use a VPN, you'd be able to connect out and be able to see those websites because you'd be connecting to an American server or something like that and be able to see those sites from there. I think it's illegal. VPNs are illegal in China, so you might want to be careful with that and check the laws. The other thing is if you have like a certain show that you want to watch, like let's say on Netflix, and you're in a country where that country doesn't have streaming rights to that show, you can then you connect to a VPN to a country that does have streaming rights, and then you're able to watch that content while you're traveling. So these are the 4 things that I came up with for benefits while using a VPN while traveling. You got the security, you got access to business network, you got privacy, and you got access to restricted content. I hope this content was useful to you guys. If you have any questions about it, go ahead and post a comment down below, and I'll get back to you on it. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.